So here they are, 1 day old, 1 day post hatch. They're about 3/16 of an inch long. I actually put a tape measure next to one of them. And here's a comparison to a ballpoint of a ballpoint pen. It's actually a little bit smaller than that because I couldn't get the pen really close. I've been feeding them egg yolk and it makes such a mess. I think that's the fat floating on the surface. And the rest of the egg just sinks all the way to the bottom and makes even more of a mess. And notice I don't have any filtration, so I tested the water and the nitrates and nitrites are high. The pH is around 7.5, and KH is at 40, and the GH is high. And so it was time to clean the tank. And I vacuumed up the water and I got a lot this time. The last time I did it, I only got 4, but this time I got a lot, as you can see right there. So, in my attempt to save lives, because fish lives matter, I came up with this idea. I taped a rag to the top of another bucket, an empty bucket, and the idea is to filter the fry from the water. Now, I am not an expert. I do not claim to be. This is not an instructional video. I am just using common sense, and this is just me brainstorming and thinking this is a good idea. Now, once I finish, obviously the water goes through the rag and the fry remains with other contaminants. I just use a spoon and pick them up and put them into a cup filled halfway with water. And you can see there's about 30 that I saved. A lot of lives. And I just put it back in. Plain and simple. No lives lost. Except maybe for that last one. I think that one might be dead. I'm not too sure. It wasn't moving. So now they're 2 days old. This is day 7, 2 days post-hatch. Made some changes. I bought myself a sponge filter from Amazon and a bubble wall. And I got the bubble wall because I figured if I can get the water to keep moving, that'll keep them moving and swimming around. And they'll be hungry from swimming around. And at night, I'll just shut it off so they can sleep and get the most rest they can get. I also got food from Amazon, which is commercial powder fry food. And I've been feeding this to them. It makes less of a mess than the egg yolk and had like a 4-star rating, so I decided to get this and try it out. So if you notice on the label, it says 200 to 300 micron particles. That's very fine particles of fish food. And here's a close-up on how fine it is. I wanted to show you how I initially fed them with this powdered fry food. What I did was I just sprinkled it on top of the water, and as you can see, it just dissipates. But when you look at it from the bottom, it just stays on the surface, and I couldn't tell if they were eating it because they weren't swimming up to the surface to eat it. And you can see right there, not too many were at the surface. So I changed it up. I tried a different method, and, with common sense. And what I did was I just dipped my finger in the water, get my finger wet, dip it in the powder, Come back, dip my finger in the water again, and just wiggle a little bit and let the food just fly off my finger. So here we are. They're officially 1 week old, a full 7 days old. And I did another upgrade to my tank. I bought this one from this really great shop known as My Kitchen. I went to the recycle bin. I picked up a water bottle and I made a biological filter. So this is a DIY, a biological filter. You can find videos on YouTube on how to make this, and so I made one. I made holes at the bottom of the bottle, which is now the top, one hole in the center for the airline tube, which goes down through the bottle, all the way down to the bottom of the sponge filter. I grinded the threads off the neck of the bottle where the cap screws onto with a Dremel. Cut about an inch off the actual tailpipe that came with the sponge filter, and it fit perfect. The media in the bottle is just lava rock I got from Home Depot. And here is a close-up of them at a full 7 days old. You can see their eyes now. They're still translucent, so you can see through them, and you can see their internal organs. So right there are their parents. This is Mommy and Daddy. Mommy just swam to the left and Daddy just swam to the right. Mom actually looked like she's ready to go and make some more babies already. It's only been 2 weeks. And here's Daddy. They're both doing fine. They're back in the community tank. So that's pretty much all I have for a 1 week update. Stay tuned for the next one. See ya.